when I found out about my cheating wife's date with another man. Hello, friends of Tangled Hearts. Welcome to our channel, where stories of love and passion unfold. Let's begin our exciting journey into the world of human relationships. I thought she was smarter, but... Good. My voice remained calm. Brenda raised her voice. Good. Did you hear what I said? Yes, dear. You have a date with a man this Friday, and you don't mind? Her surprise was impossible to miss. Of course, I mind. But what choice do I have? As you've noticed, I don't control you. You're your own person. Your voice and expression tell me that you're determined to see this through. So what choice do I have? I'll be back. Don't let your fragile male ego get in your way. I love you, and I'll make amends, you'll see. So you know it's wrong. Then, and again, I kept my voice steady and calm. What do you mean? I never said anything like that. I've earned this date. Will our parents, yours and mine, agree with you? Brenda lowered her eyes and didn't answer, a clear hint that I let this moment linger in her consciousness. It wasn't visible, but I knew it was still there within her. You know, and I know that they won't understand this. You know you're doing something wrong. You just said it. What? When? Why did you say you would make amends in front of me? If it was lunch with friends, you wouldn't have to make amends in front of me. Or if you were going to get a haircut. You only said it because you know you're doing something wrong. And you know it makes you a bad person. Uncertainty crept into her voice. But you said I could do it. No. I never said that, and I never will. All I admitted was that I can't stop you. I absolutely do not approve of it in any way. I would like you to stay with me or go on a date with me. We can go to the same restaurant and then to the same dance club. But it's not about the food or the dancing, is it? It's about the company you prefer. And that company is not me. You want to hear his name, am I right? Again, she lowered her head and there was silence. By the way, what's his name? It doesn't matter. Let's assume that. I'm not going to argue about that. Whether you like the name Mr. Dickhead doesn't matter. Just know this. I don't want you to go out with Mr. Dickhead, and your date with him on Friday will have consequences. What consequences? You're not just beautiful, you're also intelligent. I constantly tell you these two things. Apparently, you think I say it only because I have to. That's not the case. I say it because I mean it. I'm giving you, an intelligent woman, the responsibility of dealing with the consequences of your Friday date with Mr. Dickhead. You're bluffing, you love me, you always give me what I want. Well, I want this, and, as I've already said, I'll be back and we'll love each other and rebuild together. I can't stop you from doing stupid things, but you've been warned. You're on your own. That I stood up, grabbed my keys, and left before she could say anything else. The temperature in the apartment had been relatively cool all week. On Thursday evening, I packed my things and moved into the guest room. What are you doing, Rick? Pausing with a stack of clothes, I looked at her as if she were a 2-year-old. It seems I overestimated your intelligence. What does it look like? Are you moving out? Yes. My wife wants to date other men. Do you think I'm going to sleep in the same room with a cheating wife? Dream on. Her voice sounded like that of a 5-year-old taunting Ned. You're such a silly boy, throwing a tantrum like your little figure is going to lose shape. Without saying a word, I took the stack of clothes, hung them in the spare closet, and returned for another load. So now you're trying to punish the bigger evil which with silence, she sneered. You see how pathetic you are. Consequences, was my only response. She won't be able to say she wasn't warned out on Friday morning. I left early and went to a high-end salon where I got myself a professional modern haircut, shaved meticulously with a sharp razor, and even did my nails. In the men's clothing store next door, I bought a casual yet elegant shirt, trousers, and a blazer. I considered getting new shoes but decided that new footwear and dancing didn't go together, so I passed on that. On the way back home, I stopped by a car wash and requested a thorough cleaning. My SUV had no idea what hit it. Back home, I took a breath, and when I heard Brenda had arrived and took her breath as well, I headed downstairs and waited. Half an hour later, she descended in a new dress I had never seen before, a few inches above the knee, revealing a generous cleavage. She stopped on the last step and looked at me, as if expecting a compliment. When I remained silent, she looked at me again with widened eyes. Damn it! You look fabulous. Where are you going? Out. What did you think? Mocking her condescending tone, I continued. What's a weak, clueless husband supposed to do? Just sit at home, playing with his little kitty, waiting for Her Royal Highness to make an appearance? Slowly shaking my head, I opened the garage door and continued with a sharp tone. I thought you were smart. How wrong can one person be? Well, I don't want to be late. Charmaine can't stand that. Sitting in my clean SUV, I heard a scream and smiled. Got her. Charmaine and I had an amazing evening at a wine bar, where they served light dinners, and on weekends, a live pianist performed on their small dance floor. We had already discovered at work that conversation flowed easily between us. What's even better, she appreciated my sense of humor. Yes, it's a cliché, but it's true. Nothing warms a guy's heart quite like a woman laughing at his jokes. Dancing together was like having sex with shoes on, but we made it work. We moved in sync, and more than once, our gentle touches brushed our necks, cheeks, and lips. Our bodies exuded magic as we held each other close. Nonetheless, we were both aware that I was still married, and we respected that. So, we spent a long, not too rushed evening sipping wine, allowing our gazes to playfully flirt with each other while we chatted. Brenda, as I mentioned before, was beautiful and passionate. However, the flip side of passion is jealousy, and I was almost certain that the thought of me dancing with Miss Dee Charmaine would drive her crazy and disrupt the wonderful time she expected to have with her new and eager Mr. Dickhead. When I dropped Charmaine off at her apartment, she did me a favor by applying a drop of her perfume to my shirt collar and smudging her freshly painted lips on the collar, neck, and cheek of my shirt. After a kiss on the cheek, she wished me a good night. Go and get her, Tiger. We chuckled. I got into my SUV, and headed home. That it was barely 10 when I entered that big chill. Where the hell have you been? Not your business, I replied nonchalantly. You never said where you were going with your anonymous Mr. Dickhead. I would have asked you if he used condoms, but I no longer care, considering that you will rot from the inside out because I will never touch your wretched, cheating body again. So, it doesn't matter to me where you went or what you did. I had a fantastic time, and I'm very grateful to you for that. What's this gratitude for? Don't you understand? If that ridiculous idea to break up our marriage hadn't crossed your mind, I would never have had the chance to get to know Charmaine better. What a woman! Hot, very hot. So, thank you, my dear. Damn it! Brenda screamed at the top of her lungs, making me wonder if the neighbors would call the police. You know I hate this game. Well, how do you think? Why was she the first person I called? Stunned, she stared at me. What? What did you say? And again, it seems I overestimated your intelligence. Take a second, it's not rocket science. You're trying to reject me and push me into this nonsense, dressing up for some anonymous jerk, wearing clothes you've never worn for me, and you're surprised when I follow your example. You've redefined the terms of our marriage, despite my objections, and I just did the same thing you did. The only difference is that I was honest enough to tell you who I went with. For some strange reason, you're too embarrassed to name your partners. So, Miss Very Smart, what's your problem? Brenda's sails deflated before my eyes, and 2 tears rolled down her cheeks. Without giving her a chance to catch her breath, I continued. So, let me guess, Kevin South didn't get your kitty tonight as he hoped. Another scream, this time filled with pomposity, filled the air, accompanied by hands covering the mouth. How did you find out? In the tone of a game show host, I sang, and once again, the inadequacy of your mind is fully on display. Just think for a moment. You work in an office with at least 10 other women. Kevin is the biggest pussy enthusiast anyone's ever seen. Everyone there knows who's sleeping with whom, and they talk about it. You used to do it too. So, did you even for a second think you'd be an exception? For over a month now, several of your so-called friends have been telling me how you not only fell for Kevin's bullshit but started looking for it, as one of your colleagues put it. Who knows? Maybe he dumped her for you, there's no fury in hell in all that. According to the gossip, tonight he was planning to make you his, he even had a room at the Marriott. Apparently, he spends the first night at the Marriott. After that, it's Motel 6 or a woman's house. Didn't you know this? Her big eyes told me she was shocked to be portrayed as ignorant, gullible, and such an easy catch. She burst into tears. Oh, Rick. I'm sorry. You're right, I'm such a fool. How can you put up with being married to such a dumb bitch like me? Oh, Brenda, good news, I don't have to continue this. I don't need to stay married to your dumb, stinking ass. You'll be serviced tomorrow after breakfast. We rented this house, and we have 3 more months, so you can extend the lease or use this time to find what you like better. Where will you go? She asked in a quiet voice. Charmaine said I could stay with her until I figure something out. She has a second bedroom she uses as an office. As soon as I file, she said we can discuss the terms. When I told her I'm filing tomorrow, she outlined these conditions. Good ones. Can't wait to look into them further. Everything else we have together, we'll just split down the middle. Now you can fuck whoever you want, and you won't have to put up with a weak-ass husband shit. I hope Kevin is worth it. I met some other husbands who had fallen victim to Kevin, also known as Mr. Deschicanos. One evening after dinner, he discovered that his car had been vandalized, windows smashed, paint scratched, baby poop on all the seats, wheels stolen, and I forgot what else. While he was inspecting the damage, 3 masked assailants, all dressed in black, robbed him without a word and beat him severely. The police were puzzled as to why the robbers, who were after his wallet and fake Rolexes, ground his family heirlooms into dust, but with no witnesses and the parking lot cameras smeared with paint, they had nothing to go on. At that time, for spouses of his victims were playing poker at one of their houses. After he recovered, he moved out of state. No one knows, or cares, where exactly Brenda moved out, found an apartment, but when she realized that I was happily attached to Charmaine, she left the state as well. I never saw her again. That I stayed with Charmaine for a while, but we mutually agreed that a fling doesn't necessarily lead to long-term compatibility, so I moved out and found a townhouse close to work. Growing older, wiser, and fitter, I developed a strong connection with a fellow gymgoer. One thing led to another, as it often does in such moments, and I found happiness with a woman who had real brains in her head and devotion in her heart. As we conclude our journey into the world of human relationships, please remember to subscribe, like, and share our content. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you in the next story.